So a couple of different groups asked the question, are clear task parameters the same thing as learning objectives or lesson plan objectives that you would post on the board for the whole lesson? And the short answer is no, but they're very similar in structure because they come out of the same thinking that in order to have a good lesson, students need to know what they're doing, why they're doing it, and how. And in order to know that a teacher's written a good lesson plan, a supervisor would need to know what you're doing, why you're doing it, and how you plan to do it. So those ingredients would appear in both of them. The difference between a lesson objective and clear task parameters is that the lesson objective is about the entire lesson, the whole day, or if you have 2 lessons in your period, it still is a broader lesson descriptor. Clear task parameters are meant to follow an individual task, and so you might have several sets of task parameters in the same lesson. So in this example, for this lesson, we're looking at political cartoons, a whole bunch of different ones, and we're going to do it a few different ways. But each task, which means each time students engage with a new text, needs its own task parameters. So we're looking at this particular cartoon in this particular way for this particular purpose. That's a clear task parameter. If you notice that there's resonance between the two, that's great. That means that you are able to integrate this with what you already know and can do from writing clear lesson objectives. However, a lesson objective is not a task parameter. And the difference is important because we actually don't have any evidence that having an objective posted on the wall in one format or another has any impact on student learning. We know that having an objective is important. If you don't have an objective, you don't really have a lesson and know where it's going. And students do benefit from knowing about it. But we do have evidence that setting clear task parameters at the task level for each engagement with an individual text uniquely contributes to student achievement and engagement, and it also uniquely contributes to student behavior during that particular task. So if we're thinking about which one of these is going to have a direct connection to student achievement, student behavior, student engagement, it's this one. Clear task parameters, knowing at the level of each task what am I doing and why, is what has the direct effect on student outcomes. The objective has an indirect effect. It says this lesson is well planned and this lesson has a purpose, and then whatever happens during the lesson kind of happens. So indirectly very important, but directly extremely important. Another way to think about it is you could have a clear lesson objective and not a very good lesson because kids don't understand the tasks that make the lesson up. The reverse of that is, if you're very clear about individual tasks, it's nice for kids to have the bigger picture of how they all fit together in a lesson, but these are the ones that are directly important for student outcomes.